With only 2 days left until Major Lessie's arrival, the town of Resupply finalized their preparations. A mixture of fear and sadness grew beyond control. Luckily, before the boiling point, the town was reprieved when an enormous crystal white star cruiser adorned with intricate markings was spotted in the desert outside of town. As the most eccentric and sophisticated ship to have ever made port in Resupply, it was a welcome distraction. The ship was grand, and the town dumbstruck by the rays of light beaming off the jewel like exterior. By the time Till arrived at the unofficial mooring, there was such a crowd, his efforts went to containing them rather than investigating the ship's unannounced appearance. None of the DSS alarms had gone off. As far as the town was concerned, there was nothing to worry about. Exactly as planned. Back in town, standing on the roof that led to Arrow's market canopy hideout, someone much bigger than most stood as still as a statue. Unaware, the few citizens not gathered beneath his jewel like ship were scurrying about. Wearing a long black coat with a prodigious hood, the unannounced giant remained undetected by everyone and everything. Disappearing in a cloud of swirling black dust, the mysterious giant moved on. Reappearing outside the refugee center's main entryway, he wasted no time and stepped inside. Returning to statue-like stillness, the hooded giant stood in the echoing entryway of the main hall, scanning for something. Tilting his head back and forth, analyzing, he locked onto his target. Stalking into the depths of the refugee center, the giant glided across the floor, invisible to all, even Grant and Kisa's security measures. Approaching the nurse's office, the hooded giant remained outside the open doorway, gently tapping on the door with his armored covered fingers. Kisa looked up, jumping out of her seat at the sight of the cloaked giant clogging the entrance to her office. "Scaled gods! You're a big one, ain't you?" she said in fright. "You're clearly not from around here. Do you need medical attention?" Shrouded by his hood and long coat, the giant remained still, peering down at Kisa with his luminescent fractal blue eyes. Bending forward, he floated through the doorway into the office. Sitting down, the mysterious giant moved in a way that defied gravity as he took his seat with poised, precise posture. "Actually, I'm quite all right, but thank you for your concern," he said. Kisa appeared frightened, but the hooded giant's hypnotic deep voice had a calming effect. "There is, in fact, something you can help me with," the mysterious giant said. "You see, I'm looking for someone said to live in these parts, someone who has been causing trouble on this peaceful world." "You're too late. They're being punished by the GA as we speak," Kisa replied. "Ah, yes, I know all about those two," the hooded giant said. "It is the other child my interest lay with, the one who exploded." "What do you want with him?" Kisa said with a defensive tone. Surprised by the change in Kisa's demeanor, the mysterious giant gave no response. Kisa coiled and rose at the potential threat until staring into the faceless giant's fractal eyes. A calming wave spread over her. Uncurling back into her chair, Kisa turned away, centering herself before returning to the conversation. "Sorry about that. It's just, he's been through so much already," Kisa explained. "He's only a boy, and he's so close to his dream, so close to going to the academy, to a better life." "Fear not, milady," the giant spoke. "I am simply here to speak with him. In fact, I am here to make him an offer regarding this so-called dream you speak of." Kisa chuckled. "What's in it for you? Some kind of scouting fee? What makes you any different from the other eccentrics in strange attire who come here speaking strangely?" "Madame, this is beyond material desires, and concerns the lives of many, if not all," he blankly stated. "They really train you recruiters well, don't they?" Kisa joked. "He can leave this place and come with me, but only if he chooses. Nevertheless, the decision cannot be made if I don't speak with him. Can you tell me where he is?" the mysterious giant replied. Kisa stared for as long as she could into the glowing fractal eyes of the large being before her. Taking a deep breath, she sighed as the mysterious being's emanating feeling of trust won her over. "Just know we expected somebody would eventually come looking for him. He can be a bit wild, but he is also very special to us," she stated. "More special than you know," the mysterious giant replied, "and I am well aware of the boy's nature. Seeing that it matters to you, I'll explain. My offer is nothing nefarious. In fact, I'm here to offer him mentorship, You said yourself that he is heading to the academy soon. Don't you believe he should receive proper training before doing so? Or do you want him to end up like the other cadets you spoke of? The words sent a visible chill down Nurse Kisa's spine. Turning in her chair to face her computer, she attempted to ignore the stranger. All I can tell you is that he's somewhere in the mountains, she said. Go past the massive tree on the first hill. It's a couple miles from there. You'll find a grove beyond the edge of the first mountain. She paused, turning back to the lumbering giant taking up most of the space in her office. Since the explosion, he and his little family have been living up there. Finding Arrow will be one thing, but convincing him to leave his friends will be another, she warned. Thank you, the giant said, leaving her in a cloud of black swirling dust and revealing several patients waiting in the doorway behind him. Following her instruction, the mysterious giant in the long hooded coat made his way to the hill with the massive tree. Following the scent of residual energy, he cast a spell, allowing him to replay everything that previously occurred in the area. After getting up to speed, he looked into the distance, towards the mountains. Disappearing, the giant reappeared at the edge of the hollow, having known his destination from the start. Standing beneath the trio's headquarters, the mysterious giant crossed his arms behind his back, marveling at their ingenuity. Warping around, he went on a self-guided tour, avoiding Ava and Rael, who sat unaware in the newly constructed laboratory. After exploring, he was ready to introduce himself. Making his way to the top floor laboratory, he was surprised to find it empty. Stopping, he admired the vines and foliage hanging down from the openings in the roof. What a wonderful sight, he said, studying the tapestries woven into the growing vines. Enjoying the dance of colors they made in the artificial daylight, he eventually moved on. Continuing to snoop, he inspected all the curious things lying about: books, scrolls, and in one corner a rather large telescope. Wandering down to the computer room, the giant was greeted by the sweetest voice. How's it going, mister? You must be lost, Ava asked in a disturbed, childlike tone. How did you get up here? And how did you get past all our traps and security measures? The mysterious giant turned to face his innocent sounding adversary. Ah, is it you who is responsible for this? He said, gesturing to the command center and surrounding technology. Stepping from the shadows, Rael took position between Ava and the mysterious giant. This room is my doing, and she asked you a question. What are you doing here? Interesting, very interesting, the mysterious giant said, turning to study Rael. You must be Arrow's family. Kisa spoke of you. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Are you going to answer our questions, or are we going to have to do this the fun way? Rael warned. Letting out a single jolly synthetic laugh, the mysterious giant raised his arms, opening himself to attack. I would have the fun way, my dear boy. Okay, Rael said with a smile. Pulling a knife from his pocket, Rael flicked the small blade towards the command center. As the handle of the knife struck a single button, a loud electric bass line poured from repurposed speakers. As the song reached its first heavy drop, the fight began. Rael closed the distance. The mysterious giant remained still until the last moment. When Rael lunged, the giant used the Dark Elf's momentum against him, guiding Rael's attack to the side with a single finger and sending him tumbling across the ground. Ava hurdled her tumbling friend. Landing, she took a single powerful step, leaping into the air. Attempting a double leg stomp from high above, the giant simply leaned to the side, dodging Ava's attack with little effort. Her attack was so strong, when she struck the ground, she broke through the floor. Trying to squirm her way free, she looked up. Prepared to block an attack, she met the fractal glowing eyes of the faceless giant towering over her. Ava's worry seemingly disappeared. As the chaotic song reached its climax, Rael tried to take advantage of the intruder's misplaced focus. Without breaking eye contact with Ava, the mysterious giant caught Rael's attack. Using the moment to get free and grab the first thing she could, Ava threw a chair at the intruder, who gracefully moved Rael into its trajectory. After blocking the incoming chair with Rael's body, the intruder tossed the dark elf aside. With no hope of victory, Rael and Ava dusted themselves off and stood ready for the next bout. You two are something special, and it seems you don't even know your powers yet, the mysterious giant proclaimed. We don't need our powers to stop you, Rael replied. In that moment, Rael caught the glowing fractal eyes of the faceless giant, the innate sense of calm emitting from them finally taking effect. You had enough yet, huh? Ready to talk? Ava joked, doing her best to hide her heavy breathing. Forgive me, but I could not resist the chance to assess the ones Arrow would call family. Your names are Ava and Rael. You may call me the Wizard. Glancing at each other, Ava and Rael did not react to the absurd name, choosing to continue their inquisition. Oh, yeah? Why is that? What do you want? How did you find us? It was Nurse Kisa who told me how to find you, the wizard replied to the cacophony of accusations. Ava and Rael's last bit of aggression faded. Ah, does that create ease? Good, then I will explain. I have traveled a long way, and as they say, time is an illusion. No, 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 that's not it. Time is of the essence. Rael and Ava looked at each other, confused by the wizard's strange words. I know you were involved in a recent event that nearly split this planet in half, the wizard stated. Rael and Ava now looked at each other like they had been caught. Come now, enough distrust, the wizard politely said. It is true, I am looking for the one they call Arrow. I mean to prepare him, so he may gain some level of control over his powers. Not to mention preparing for the Academy, more so for his introduction to the rest of existence. Yes, yes, this is all correct. Seeing you now as you are reminds me of old times. Why are you here? Rael interrupted. It is my intention to train Arrow aboard my ship, the Lineage, until his time at the Academy can begin. But first, he must pass my test. If successful, I will present him the choice, which will include the option of including you. I have plenty of room for all of you, but it is entirely up to him. Ava and Rael remained silent. Despite the appetizing offer, they clearly didn't take the idea of a total stranger who calls himself the Wizard offering everything they dreamed of. Arrow is past the highest peak, Ava said in shame. Just beyond the ridge is a crater with a solid stone tower at its center. He's either meditating at the top or lying unconscious at the bottom. Rael threw sharp, distrusting eyes at Ava. What are you doing? He whispered. The wizard floated around the room as if he were beginning to make his way towards the exit. Are you really going to take us with you if he passes your test? Ava asked. The wizard stopped. If Arrow passes the test and chooses to keep you as his family, then after this day, our lives change forever. Before any more questions could be asked, the wizard disappeared before their eyes, leaving behind a cloud of spiraling black dust.